This episode of The Inspiration Show is so incredibly special because today's inspiration is truly one of the sweetest, most talented people that I've been looking up to for years and years. From dancing to singing to acting, she truly does it all. The incredibly talented Rosie is joining me. She is currently starring in the national tour of The Great Gatsby, bringing the party across North America as a super swing. Thank you so much, Rosie, for joining me. I have so much love and admiration for you, and it's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So, when did you first fall in love with dance, and what was it about dance that drew you in and made you gravitate towards it?
I started dance. I want to say I was like 2 years old. We had just moved to Colorado, and there was a new dance studio opening up. So my mom put my older sister and me at the time into dance, and I think like immediately it was just something that I like kept coming back to. Our parents did a great job of like trying to get all of us to do a bunch of different things. So like I tried soccer, I did a little karate, I did a little lacrosse, I did a little field hockey at some point. And I just always was like, okay, great, but like now I want to go back to dance. Like that was so fun, but now I want to dance. And then I went to an art school starting in sixth grade. So that kind of like opened up a whole nother world of like more. I think that the studio was a lot of like contemporary dance styles, was obviously ballet, jazz, contemporary, hip hop, tap, all of those things. And then when I went to school, to the art school, I was more focused in like traditional jazz, traditional modern, traditional ballet. So it was kind of cool that I got a well-rounded education like that. And I was also a competitive dancer, so I just like that was kind of my whole life. And I think that I preferred it that way. I think a lot of the times like you can get super easily burnt out by doing and living and breathing, but like honestly, nothing in the world made me happier or like more excited to be alive than like being in a dance class. And yeah, that like started it. And then when I was in maybe I think I was the summer before my junior year of high school, I went to a musical theater intensive. And then I was like, whoa, I didn't even know like that this was an option. And so then I still kept dancing, and I was like kind of was the kernel in the back of my mind. And then I did that intensive again the next year, and I was like, okay, wait, I really, really like this. And then when I was auditioning for dance schools for college, I was like, okay, like I think I auditioned for a lot of dance schools. And I went to like a festival thing too, where I got like accepted to like, I think it was like 15 schools or something like that. It was crazy. And then I just auditioned for like, I think it was like I think it was like four musical theater programs. And then, excuse me, my name's on. And then I ended up getting into like, I think two of the four. And then I was like, oh no, like I have this like what I have this crazy like what do I do? Dance musical theater, what do I do? What do I do? And then COVID happened. That's when COVID was. And I honestly think that like if COVID hadn't happened and I hadn't had that time to like sit with myself and really think about like what I want and what is going to make me happy, I don't know that I really don't know if I would have taken that time. Hope I would have. But anyway, yeah, then I was like, I think I need to do this. I think I need to push myself. I want to learn something new. Like I'm interested in like learning more about this craft. And I just kind of like jumped off the cliff from there. And then I've been doing this ever since.
Yeah, I relate to that so much too as a dancer, and also like being a theater person is like for my art school, I auditioned for like either the dance program or the drama program, and like making that decision is the hardest thing ever because like they're two halves of a whole, like they make up your heart. And then I think falling in love with musical theater made me realize you can dance too in a musical theater program. And I feel like the dance training that I've got in a musical theater program than just like my regular dance training, it changed me so much as a dancer and like opened up my eyes to a whole different version of dance that I don't think I would have seen if I did like just straight dance.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I feel like going to school for musical theater, if anything, like really reinvigorated my love of dance, because not to say that the dance training was any less like strict, because it
Mhm.
wasn't, but it was more so like, what is motivating you to do this? It like made you like think of things in a different way that wasn't just like I fell out of my double turn and now nobody wants me. Like it's like more like that's hilarious. It's more like, why are you doing this? If this is what is being this emotion is eliciting this move, why is that the case? Like so I feel like that
Yeah.
kind of tapped into my brain in a way I hadn't done ever in my childhood. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of awesome.
Yeah, and it's so awesome too because like I feel like as dancers a lot like we get asked like why dance? And I know for me it's just like that storytelling that like you can use your body to tell stories that words can't tell. But then when you dance in musical theater, the dance elevates the story. And
Right.
like seeing that was just like the coolest experience for me. I was like, that's it for me.
Yeah, completely.
So can you take us back to the first time you experienced theater and how you were feeling at the time?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think that like so my very first time seeing a show, this is actually kind of funny. My very first time ever seeing a musical was The Lion King at the like Ed Mirvish, or what's the Toronto theater called?
Yeah, that's
The
right. Ed Mirvish.
So
Yeah.
that was the first show I ever saw. I was 2 years old. I saw The Lion King, and they had to like escort. I guess they like asked. I was like joyous, a joyous 2 year old, like oohing and ahhing and like making a lot of sound. And they like told my, I think I was on like my dad's lap, and they were like, she's gotta go to the back. So they had to take me out. But I was just so excited to be there. And I feel like that this like that rings true. But then I thought I want to say like my first show that I saw that I really was like, like I actually think I really honestly, I'm like, I'm having a really hard time remembering. I know I saw Annie. I'm like, I saw a couple of things. I think maybe the first thing that really like turned me on to musical theater was probably the intensive that I did that year, that summer before my junior year. It was probably Carousel. Like I saw Carousel.
Yeah.
It was a 2018 revival, and I was like, ooh, like that. Like I
Yeah.
want to do that. And I think it was just like so beautiful. And like also I didn't have an appreciation for like classic musical theater at the time. And so like I didn't kind of understand even like what it meant to like be seeing all of those like people in the revival version. Like I didn't even understand the weight of it at the time, but I just knew like, oh, like my heart is like singing to this. Like so that was probably my first show that I saw where I was like, oh, I want that. I
Yeah.
want to do
Oh,
that.
what a killer show. And I'm so excited to see you back at the Mervish Theater on tour with Gatsby. Like that's so crazy full
Isn't
circle.
that crazy? I know. So weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna look out at like all those little kids who are like falling in love with it, seeing you on that stage. Like that's
That's
the
what
coolest thing.
I think about that like all the time because obviously this is a hard job and it's grueling and you're exhausted and like whatever and you're kind of backstage and you're like and then you get on stage and it's just like you see this wall of like people with like stars in their eyes watching you and you're like oh yeah, like I love this, like I don't care how exhausted or anything I am, like
Yeah.
that this is why I'm doing this. And so it's
Yeah.
very cool. And I think my parents said to me before I started this, they were like, you literally, saw a show when you were two and like that like set the trajectory. Like you were like, I want to dance, I want to dance, like I want to do that. That set your trajectory like basically for the rest of your life. And they're like, you have the like
Yeah.
ability to be able to do that for another person right now. And I was like, oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
It's the most special thing in the world. Like, I'll never forget when I did my first tour and my mom's students came to see the show and I didn't know. And I was so tired. I was like, it's a 10 a.m. student matinee. And then I came out the stage door and my mom's coworkers were there and all her students were there. And I was like, if one kid fell in love with theater because they got to watch us do that, that's what it's all for.
Exactly.
It's so special. Oh.
Exactly.
What really inspired you to become a performer and who's been an inspiration of yours throughout your incredible career?
Ooh, what a great question. This actually, I think that going back to my older sister, going like putting my older sister and I into dance, and I have a bunch of siblings. I have 5 siblings. So they all inspire me in different ways. But I think that my older sister, I like all I ever wanted always was like to be just like her. Like I still want that. I'm like, she's awesome. She's everything to me. And actually, oh my God, it's her birthday. That's so funny. But she went into dance and like then I went into dance and I think I just like watching her doing, I wanted to do everything she was doing and she went to college for dance. And I like wanted to do the exact same thing and like she worked at a theme park and then I wanted to work at a theme park and like like it's like everything she did I was like, oh yes, like that's it. So I think that she like has transitioned out of performing and is now more in like arts management work, which is awesome. But I think that like my inspiration growing up was always like her. So I think that that's like my general answer. And then what inspired me to start performing, I think that like I this is like another little anecdote, but when I think it was like my first recital, I was probably like 3 or whatever. And my dad was asking me, he was like, "Are you nervous? Like, are you nervous to go on stage? Are you nervous?" And I said, "No, no, I want everybody to watch me. I want everybody to watch me." And so I think that that's kind of like me as a performer is like, no, I actually am like thrilled by the idea of like sharing what I have to say, like in whatever, medium that is. But like it is thrilling to me to like be on stage and I love it. Like there's nothing in the world that I think I love the same way I love that. And like other inspirations to me are like I'm trying to think. Like Robin Herder is a huge inspiration for me. I worked at Algonquin this past summer, the show right before she was gonna work there, and I was like, no, like
Oh,
no, I would give anything to work there. So that was like fun. I was like, and then I'm trying to think who else. Corey Pentanod is like one of the
yeah.
most insane performers I think ever to grace this planet. I'm like, I worship everything she does. Who else? Like a classic Cheetah Rivera. Like anytime I see a video or any kind of content, like I'm like always gonna be watching. I think that to me, I'm drawn to performers who you look at them and you're like, that is your 150 billion%. And like it's nothing less. And I'm obsessed with a performer like that. And I feel like when you see a dancer, I'm missing 100 people, of course, right now that I'm like thinking of and so insanely inspired by. But like that is what is inspiring to me. It's like, because I feel like growing up when I was dancing, they would be like, Rosie, like, good, good, but like down a couple notches, like take it down a couple notches. And I'd be like, sure, sure, sure. And then when I like started doing musical theater dance, they're like, whoa, like, yes, like love this. Let's just give it direction. Like there was like a kind of
Yeah.
shift in vocabulary there. So I feel like that is also very present in like the dancers that I love to see on Broadway is like there's no less. There was no taking down a couple notches. There was just
Yeah.
direction. And like, yeah, people like that, performers like that, I'm like always drawn to. I love them.
Yeah. And speaking of Robin Herder, I need to put it in the universe that I need you in Chicago ASAP, please.
I'm like,
I'm
from your mouth to the universe's ears,
manifesting it.
we're
I'm
manifesting
manifesting
it.
it.
Yup.
Chicago on Broadway. I need it. I need it. I remember watching you dance for the first time and I was like, you were made. I mean, you're made to do anything. Like when you dance, oh my God, I'm like floored. But like, I need you in Chicago. I need it.
What? Thank you. Like me too. Let's do it. Let's make it
Oh.
happen.
So you're from Colorado, but you attended the Weitzenhoffer School of Musical Theater at the University of
Yeah.
Oklahoma. So how has your experience in the program influenced your development as a performer and prepared you for a career in musical theater?
Yeah, I actually just taught there last Monday. Because we were in
I
Dallas for 2 weeks.
saw it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go home, gonna go back to my roots. I think that the what the program does such an amazing job of is the class sizes are so small. So
Yeah.
my class ended up being 11 people by the time we graduated. We started with 12. So the program does a great job of trying to select like a super varied group of people. Like there's no one who looked like me, sang like me, dance like me, anything like that. There was no one who looked like, sang like, or danced like my best friend. Like we all were very, very, very different and brought really awesome things to the table. And I think that as much as I learned from my professors and like as much as I, drank in there, I think I learned as much from my peers and they do a great job of kind of like moving you from class to class with your class, like you stay with them for all of your core musical theater stuff. And I think that like watching them grow and evolve into like a very distinct person, I feel like it was like mirrored in my own experience. Um because college is like such a crazy time. Like you're changing so much. So much is different. You're like am not the same person post college that I was while I was in college, and I was not the same person in college that I was when I was in high school. Like it's like it's like the exponential like change of your life in this period of time. So anyway, I feel like they do a great job of celebrating your differences while also trying to not put you in a box, but be like, where are you best suited? Like you think when you're younger, you're like, I'll audition for every musical ever alive. And then when you get older, you're like, no, I don't have time for that. Like I need
Yeah.
to pick and choose what is going to be beneficial to me, what am I going to be an asset to in the production? Like, is this a story that I'm passionate about telling? Is this a story that I'm not passionate about, like, like you kind of figure out those things. And I think they do a great job of helping you like realize what your lane is, um, without ever like putting any like cramps on your style. I also think they did a great job with like the musicals we would do and the people they would bring in. Like we would have that experience to like sing for some casting directors or sing for some agents, or like they did a great job kind of plugging us in before we ever got to New York. And I don't even know how much of the program this is versus the people, but I guess like the people who are drawn to the program, like my best friends in New York are my college friends. Like, and when I moved to New York, I knew I had like a network of 50 people that I already knew. 50 is probably an exaggeration. 30 probably ish people that I already knew and felt extremely safe with, and knew that they would vouch for me and knew that they would like, I felt safe moving to New York. Whereas I feel like sometimes moving to New York, I mean, it always is daunting and scary and unknown and whatever, but knowing that I had an entire like strong and supportive and amazing group to be there for me and like be ready to receive me in New York, that like changed the game. So I think like they also do an amazing job accumulating the best people I've ever known in my life have come out of that program. So
Yeah. It's so true when they say like theater people are the luckiest people in the world. And I feel like with art schools too, like what you said really stuck with me. Like you learn so much from your professors, but you learn equally as much from your peers. And I think that's the
mm-hmm.
most special thing about getting to go to school for theater and like watching people and be like, I love the way they did that. Let me try it like that. And you kind
Right.
of get these tools from your friends that you can put to your own toolbox, and it just changes you so much as a performer.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've brought so many beloved stories to life in incredible regional theater productions like Frozen, Grease, Guys and Dolls, and so many more. Which regional theater productions have been the most memorable for you? And could you share a few standout moments?
Yes, I'm like, so I'm like I love I love regional theater. It's so fun. It's funny to think about, like really no job asks you to like do that normally. Like they're like, hey, we're gonna move you to this weird city for 6 weeks, and you're only gonna be able to talk to this small group of people for the
Yeah.
whole time. You're gonna live with them also. And like it's just like the craziest thing.
It's
Things
the
that are
best.
like immediately coming to mind is I did right after I graduated high school or college, excuse me. I did 42nd Street at Theater by the Sea, and that was so fun. First of all, so hard, hardest show I've ever done. I'm like the offstage track is harder than the onstage. Like doing the quick changes and all that stuff like is actually crazy. And we
Yeah.
were in Rhode Island at like the end of summer. It was the most beautiful, beautiful experience. Like I loved it so much. And then another one that sticks out to me is when I did Frozen at Agunquit it was like winter. So again, it was like it's a beach town, Agunquit, Maine. And
Yeah.
so everything is closed. Like everything's closed.
Yep.
We were performing in Portsmouth, like 25 minutes south. And that was
Mhm.
cute. And that was Christmas time. So it was like Christmas markets and Christmas trees and like doing Frozen every night. I think I could do that show for years. Like that, you do a show and you're kind of like, ooh, this one like probably couldn't stay in this long. I could have done that for years on years on years. And so that was amazing. And the people that I met on that contract are still like some of my closest friends, which is awesome. It's like awesome when that happens. And then another one this past summer, I did a Gunkwit again. I did Guys and Dolls with
Yeah.
an insane cast. Like
Yeah, cast.
the people I worked with were just like crazy. And then after that, I did Grease at North Shore, and that was when I was cha-cha. So I was like a little bit of a princess track. I got to dance my little booty off. I got to
Oh, yeah.
sing a little. Like that was also on a beach. That also has I've like got like two best friends from that contract, more than two best friends, like a crew of best friends from that contract, which rarely like I feel like that I don't know how often that happens where you like really meet like a group of people that you're like, oh, like these are my best friends. We call them like our infinity stones. Like you're like collecting like your
Oh,
infinity
yeah.
stones for so anyway, so infinity
Yeah.
stones. Um and that was also on the beach. So that was amazing. I feel like when you look for regional theater and stuff, it's kind of like location, creative team, and like pay. And
Yeah.
creative team slash show. Like if it's a show you really want to do, but you don't really like know anybody on the creative team, you're like, okay, well, it's a show I really want to do. Like I feel like you have to feel passionately about at least one of those three things. Like, am I getting paid
Definitely.
like good amounts?
Yeah.
Is it somewhere that I want to be? And like, is it a show I want to be doing slash people I want to be working with? And I feel like I've been so fortunate to on almost every contract I've worked find all three of those things. I feel like I've been very lucky in that way. Um, but yeah, I'm like those. I'm like I think I just like listed all of them, but it was like three: 42nd Street, Frozen, and Grease were like very formative and changing for me.
Yeah. Oh, all those shows like were so amazing. Like I remember seeing you were in all of those and I was like, yes, 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 and more yes. I was like, perfect. So out of all the roles you stepped into, are there a few that particularly stand out to you for specific reasons?
That's a great question. I think that like out of any show ever.
Any show ever.
So when I did 42nd Street, I was the Dorothy Brock understudy, and who Dorothy Brock is the like washed up, retired, like Broadway star. And I was like 22 at the time, like playing like a probably anywhere from like 40 to 50-year-old woman. Um, because she's like was famous way back in the day. So I like that was the first time that because I'm giving strong like ensemble cover lead, like that's kind of my gig at the moment, which I love. I couldn't be more grateful for that. But so
Yes.
that was the first time I had really gone on for a huge ginormous part by myself in a regional theater setting. And I remember like sitting and singing one of her songs where she's just in a red velvet dress, just sitting and singing. And I was like, this is crazy that I'm singing by myself on a regional theater stage. Like, little competition dancer Rosie at 15 would have been like, what? Like, so it's like those moments where you just have to sit there and like drink it in and be like, this is what I'm doing. And I'm doing it well. Like, I'm like out here and I'm doing it. Like, that's really cool. That was probably like one of my favorite roles that I've ever done just because it was so crazy. I found out like 3 hours before the show. I like cried. I was like, I
Oh
don't
my
like,
God.
and those processes are
Yeah.
so fast. I think it
Yeah.
was like a 4 week contract. So we had rehearsed for 2 weeks and we were going to play for 2 weeks. And it was like we had opened on a Sunday and then this was Tuesday. Like I like hadn't
Oh
even
my
had
God.
the chance to even hardly know my own track. Like luckily
Yeah.
I had done my homework and written down my spacing and whatever. So it was
Let's
fine.
go.
But like it was crazy. And I think that was one of the most like I like couldn't believe that it was happening. And then I was looking out at the audience and I was like, no, I'm doing it. Like I'm sitting here and I'm singing. So that's really cool. And yeah, trying to think what else. That was probably like the coolest, biggest one. And then yeah, I love being Cha Cha. Like I loved that so much. She's a goober, like just an absolute goober. I'm like,
She's so
there's
fun.
no real depth there, and I think that's the beauty of her characters.
Yeah.
She doesn't give a hoot about anything but that trophy. And
Yeah.
again, the competition Rosie, 15-year-old Rosie, I think really
Exactly.
appreciate that. Could really
Oh,
appreciate that. So yeah, those are like probably my favorite roles.
yeah. No, that's so awesome. And going back to your experience in like 42nd Street, like I can't imagine how crazy that was for you. And like I always love preaching this on the podcast is like swings and understudies and standbys, they are the backbone of theater because like you were saying, like you had your own track to do. And like having to go on for like a lead and not having so much rehearsal time, like it's so
Zero
crazy.
rehearsal.
Like, oh my God, you had
That was
zero
like the
rehearsal?
first time I was saying the lines out loud was like on
Oh
stage.
my God.
That was crazy.
Like it's crazy when you go and you have no rehearsal and like especially too when you have your own track in the show and that's not the only track you cover. It's like, oh my, like I could
Yeah.
never imagine like superstars.
Yeah, and it's like they truly are like the heroes
Yeah.
of every show and of every yeah, I'm like there's no show without them. Like that's
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't, you know. So it's yeah, it's unbelievable. I think like being a swing has really made me appreciate again every swing and every understudy ever because like it's not only extremely difficult just because it's difficult, like just because you have a bunch of rules to learn and whatever. It's also difficult because like you know, your family wants to come see you and they're like, when are you going to be on? And you're like, I don't know. And like, I keep telling my family, I don't know when I'm going on. I don't know when I'm going on. I don't have any scheduled on dates. And then I just debuted 2 tracks last week and they couldn't come and see it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of like, you're kind of like, it's not only hard because it's really hard because there's so much stuff to learn, but it's also hard for like the other weird stuff that you wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, anytime I get the opportunity to sing the praises of understudies and swings, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna,
Always.
yeah.
Always. I always say the greatest gift when I go to the theater is a little white slip. It's
Yeah,
the great,
literally,
I
literally.
get so excited
We had on the other night, and it's like it's kind of like our first. People are kind of just starting to call out
for
because it's our
debut
fourth
now. Yeah.
city now. Yeah, it's like it was new. Like the first, I
Yeah.
want to say the first. Oh, well, I guess the first two full cities, zero call outs, and then during Dallas, we had like a couple scheduled ons, and then we had our
Mhm.
first like couple of call outs.
Yeah.
Um, which like is scheduled on, like the swings could know and be prepared for, but then the call outs are different. Like you get your
Yeah.
text and you're like you're on
Yeah.
and you're
You're
on.
on.
So we did have like we had a show last week where three of the swings were on for full tracks, which meant that the two swings who cover, it's complicated. It literally is like
The domino effect. That's what I
the
call
the
it.
partial swings, who's like me, I'm a partial swing. So I go on for new money every night, but I was doing a different track, which meant our other swing went on for my partial swing track. So like we had the five of us on stage, which was so cool.
Oh, that's
Like,
amazing. My favorite's those all skates. It's so beautiful, or like close to an all skate. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh. So you are currently on the first national tour of the Great Gatsby musical. So before getting cast in the show, were you at all familiar with the story, and why'd you feel the need to be part of telling this story?
Oh, that is a great question. I have had an obsession with The Great Gatsby for since probably I was in eighth grade. I remember I read the book in eighth grade
Yeah,
with Eric Mills, shout out.
shout out.
And he like is a great teacher, an amazing teacher. And I just remember like reading it, and I like love all the like rich, metaphors and blah blah blah. Like I love that in writing, and when I read, and I love to read, like I'm a big reader. And so that like I loved it back then. And then the movie came out. And then I loved it even more. And then the
Yeah.
soundtrack for the movie was available on iTunes, and I bought it all and put it on my iPod Shuffle, of course. Actually, at that point, it was probably my iPod Touch. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I think that was like late enough that it was my iPod Touch. But I bought the soundtrack, and I would like choreograph dances to the soundtrack in my basement. Like it's been something that I have always, always, always loved. Um, this show, this story, or the show, I didn't love the show yet. It didn't exist. The story, I loved every single bit of it. Um, and I always have. Like I love Flapper, I love Art Deco, I love like I love the 20s. Like love is a strong word. Obviously, it was like there's a lot of problems back then, but
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm trying to think. Then as I was getting ready to graduate college, I think that it came out the same year as Outsiders.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did I say
actually.
okay? So I was getting ready to graduate college, and like there was like a whole slew of new shows that were incredible. And I didn't see that one while I was there for like showcase or whatever. I saw a bunch of shows, but I didn't see that one. And then I auditioned for it, right, like that was like my first audition out of school. And then
Wow.
it wasn't the time then. And then the South Korean production was coming around, and I auditioned again, and it wasn't the time then. But I kind of felt like I kept being brought in, and like I'm worried. Okay, no. I kept being brought in, and so that means like they like me. Like if I'm not
Yeah.
getting the
Yeah.
job and they were like, she's wrong, then they wouldn't keep bringing me back in. So
Bring back. Yeah.
I had come in, tape for it, come in, tape for it again, come in again. So it had been like quite a few
Life
times,
of being an actor, life of a showgirl.
literally. And I think I had been in for it enough times that by the time I got called in to do the tour, I was like, well, you know what you're gonna get. Like, like you've seen me do it. Like,
Oh,
and it felt so right. Like that was different. That was what was different from the other times I'd gone in for. I think the other times I was too like bloodthirsty, maybe. Like I think that it was I just like maybe wanted it. This like sounds bad, but it like maybe I just was like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
yeah,
And
when you want a show so bad, something that you have like such a personal connection with too, it's like, give it to me. No, we've
yeah,
all
like
been
I
there.
wanted it really bad. So then
Yeah.
by the time I went in for the tour, I was like, well, like are we maybe we'll just do this dance again. I'll see you next time. Like so I kind of had released that like into the
Yeah.
ether. I was like, it's either gonna happen or it's not, and I'm totally fine with either because like we've done this dance a couple times. So
Yeah.
then but then as I was kind of going in for it again, I was like, ooh, this time feels different. Like this time feels like I'm like, picking up pieces that I didn't see last time. I'm hearing our amazing associate say things that I didn't hear him say last time, and I'm kind of like, ooh, like maybe I need to think about that. Like I kind of like dropped in, like I released the need for whatever, the need to please, the need to whatever, that like kind of desperation. I just was like, wow, it's not serving me clearly. Released it, did it. I was like, oh great. Got a call back. I was like, oh great. I was really excited about that. Then on the callback day, again, it was one of those things where I like came in and I was like, this there is no, and also we didn't know the people who were auditioning, we didn't know how many people they were bringing over from the South Korean production either, because I think a lot of them
Right.
are on our tour and a lot of them were
Right.
offered. So I think that also was what helped me take a lot of the heat off, is I was like, there literally might not be a spot available for me, so like let this just be an opportunity for me to go show who I am. Like there might not, and that's real, like that's so real. People will hold auditions and there will be no spot, like,
Mm.
so, and that is like, that sucks, but that's just the name of the game. Like sometimes you just have to, you have to hold the call. And if there's no spot that works for the performer that I am, then there's no spot, whatever, next time. So anyway, I think I knew that there maybe was not a spot for me. And I was like, let this just be me dancing and like showing my heart. And then, um, oh, sorry, did I lose you?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I'm like, my iPad is like, I might need to grab my charger. But yeah, anyway, I just released that. And then on the callback day, I was like, okay, like this feels right. We danced, we did our partnering, we did the tapping, we did everything. Then I went in to sing. And again, I was like, okay, this feels right. Like it all just felt like right. And it sucks because sometimes you do an audition and you're like, this feels right. And then you don't get it. But like,
Yep.
I literally have a picture of me after my final callback. Like, I just was so proud of the work I did in the room. Like, it wasn't perfect by any means, but I had like worked really hard on it and I did it. And like, being somebody who didn't grow up singing, like, singing still makes me really nervous sometimes.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself and I'm nervous, it doesn't come out the way I practiced it. Like I'm kind of
That's
like,
so
oh,
real. That's so real.
I'm not quite sure what that was. Like, I swear it was good. But I was very proud of myself for like really staying connected and like feeling confident about the work that I did. I felt great about the work that I did. And I was like, I didn't let my nerves get the better of me. Like I went in there and I did what I know I could. Um, and that was also really freeing in a way that I was like, I wouldn't have changed anything. Like I wouldn't have gone back in there and done anything different. Which sometimes you walk out of a room and you're like, maybe I would have taken a deep breath before that last part, but whatever. You just gotta let that slide off your back. But like for this one specifically, I was like, there's nothing I would have done different. And I have a picture of me. I like got on the subway on my way home. And also our initial callback, there was 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks. I might be exaggerating. In my mind, it felt like 3 weeks, but I think it was 3 weeks from our call to our callback. So it
That's
was
a
like,
lot of time.
I know, like that never happens. It's
That
normally
never
like
happens.
2
Yeah.
days later. So yeah, so I had 3 weeks to be like,
Oh my God, that must have like killed you. Oh my
so
God.
then get off, like get out of that and feel so confident about what I did. I literally like sat in the train and started crying. Like I have like a picture of me like crying on the train because I was
Oh,
so relieved and like so proud of myself. And so like again, it like had that like cosmic thing. Like I was like, this is either mine or something else is gonna come out of it because like this feels so good and so correct that like it's either I'm gonna get this job or like something else is coming and I'm okay with either of those options. And so then yeah, then I was like waiting for the call and bugging my agents so
so
much.
real.
Being
That's
like,
so real.
hey, have you heard
Have you heard
anything?
anything? It's so
And they
real.
like they had a couple of people, they had a couple of clients who were in the South Korean production, so they were able to kind of update me and be like, okay, well, these people have their, they were kind of able to like help me
Yeah.
um not go crazy. And yeah, and then I got the call. It was like in October, I think I got the call. Or
Wow.
yeah, so I think my callback was October 7th, and then I found out like October 25th or something like that. So there was like again a couple weeks of like
Yeah.
but then when it happened, I was like, yes, okay, this is what I thought. So anyway, yeah, that's how I got that.
That audition process is literally the epitome of sometimes you don't book the show, you book the room, and then you book the show.
Right.
Like,
Well,
it's like,
it was a matter of just they kept being like, "You're so right for this, just not right now." Like, and I was
yeah.
like, I like,
Like,
like, and it's true though. I mean, it was true. I was right for it, but not at the moment, and now I'm right for it now. So it's like, as frustrating as that is as a performer, like you sometimes you just gotta like let go and
and yeah.
let go and see what happens.
And sometimes the key to booking it is going in for it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's the greatest feeling in the world too of like when you go to an audition and you already know the show and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I feel good, like I know what I'm doing.
I also like hadn't seen the show. Like I had been in for it. I think I had
That
like
was
a
my
little,
next question.
yeah, so I had like a little thing. Like sometimes I'm just such a like a little pain in the ass. Like I don't know what my problem is, but anyway, sometimes like I just like was, I was like, well, I'll go see it. Like I'll go see it once I have the job. Like I
Yeah.
don't
I
know
mean,
like
as you should.
I don't know what my problem is though. Like go see the show and then you can like be more informed in the room. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that is about me. And so anyway, I was just like, well, like once I book it, I'll go see it. And so then
Yeah.
once I booked it, I went and saw it. And
Yeah.
I of course like I knew like I had seen videos, I had seen bootlegs on the internet, like like I
Yeah.
knew I got the
Yeah.
gist. But
Yeah.
then when I went and saw it in person, I was like, whoa,
It's great.
like this is what we've all been talking about. Like it just is such a, and I think I'm happy that I saw it after I booked the job because I was watching from a perspective of like, this is going to be so much fun to do. Like, this is going to be so
Yeah.
much fun to do. Which kind of honestly these days, like, I can't really see a show without being like, okay, I'd probably be this track. Like, I would probably, okay, I would probably, like, I really can't watch a show without doing
That's
that or
so
being like, oh my
real.
God, that's my friend. Like, oh, she loves this part. Like, it's like, you can't really go and see anything anymore, like, once
Yeah.
you're doing this. But anyway, I was happy to see it knowing that I was going to be in it. And I was like, this is really good. Like, this is like the production, excuse
Oh,
me,
it's
the production of everything and like the costumes and the choreography, like it
stunning.
all is so the direction, like it's so well thought out. And then to have seen it and then to move into the rehearsal process and have them explain like I
Mhm.
can watch a show and be like, oh, okay, this moment was really well thought out. I'm not sure what was thought about it, but I can tell it's really thought well, like there was a lot of care behind this moment. And then to go into the process and listen to what the care is, like she, like take this moment and let this hit you and blah blah blah. Like listening to the breaking down of everything is like what I loved to do. And like this choreography, okay, this moment is inspired by Dom, our choreographer, would do a great job of being like, this is inspired by this, this, and this. Go home and watch those videos. So maybe like, oh, okay, like it's like amazing to see a piece of choreography and be like, wow, that's really good. And then to learn it and be like, this is where this is derived from. This is what this was inspired by. This is because we're in the club and we're doing blah blah blah. This is our MTV moment. This is
Yeah.
our VMA moment is what I meant to say. Like, like it's all of that you like watch a show and you're like, this is really good, but I don't really know why. And then learning why, I just love. Like I'm like that was awesome. So anyway, yeah, I saw the show once I had already booked the job just because I
Yeah.
was being a brat about it, I guess.
No, as you should. And I'm so curious, were you like, because I feel like this is what like I would be doing is like, were you like zoning in on your like counterpart, being like, oh, every single step that she took? I feel like that's something I would do.
Well, so I already knew I was going to be a swing at that point.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I was thinking in my mind how difficult each number would be to swing
Oh,
because
oh, that's so real.
because every number I'm like, oh, like it's not giving so and so are opposites and they do the same thing the whole number. No.
Right. No.
Everybody has their own very unique experience in every single number. And
Yeah.
so I was watching, I was like, ooh, ooh, or they'd be like, the clumps, like all the clumps in the opening number, the like
Yep.
iconic opening number, and they're like, all their clumps are going like this. And
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Like I literally was in the audience like, okay, okay, okay. Yep, that's gonna be hard to learn. Okay, yep, that
Yeah.
will probably be hard to learn too. Oh, yep, that's gonna be hard to learn. And then like, yeah, so I think I was like watching it from like this looks like so much fun and oh my
Yeah.
God, like me notating is gonna be like a mess, but
I
obviously once they broke it down in rehearsal, it was totally fine.
Wow. Yeah, and I want to talk to you about that and kind of pick your brain on that. What was your rehearsal process like and like your overall experience as you stepped into this iconic and beloved show?
Okay, so it was very fast and furious. I don't know typically how long you get for like a tour or abroad. Like I don't know what the like average number of weeks is. Ours was from December, I think we were all together like December 29th. And then we had like 2 days off for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. December 29th. And I think we left. New York on January 21st. So like less than a month.
Yeah.
To learn everything. I'm trying to think like we had like a long tech process. Yeah, and then I think we opened the 1st of February. So like it was like yes, like it was like literally a month. Um and that is crazy. Like when you're doing summer stock or you're doing a regional theater, like yeah, it's gonna be faster. Like it's probably gonna be like 3 weeks rehearsal, like half a week of tech, and you're probably gonna open. Or maybe even less, maybe like 2 weeks of rehearsal and then half a week,
Yeah.
whatever. So I was like, oh my God, like this is a huge production to be doing this fast. But it was good. I think that because it was the fourth iteration, because they've done Broadway, West End, South Korea, and now tour. Because it was the fourth iteration, it was like a well-oiled machine. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my camera is like zooming out. I don't know why that's happening. It was a well-oiled machine, and like there was no question marks. I think like sometimes when you're in a regional production or something, it's like, oh, we're all figuring this out together. Like, no, they came in so uber prepared. And like for me, like my brain, I love that. Like, I love when somebody comes in and is like, this is what it is. This is the count. This is the initiation. This is the movement. This is why we're doing the movement. Like, they have it down, like they know it. There was obviously some changes and some differences from each of the productions. Like, they're not all going to be the same. They're not all the same house. Like, there's some, changes because ours is moving around. Had to be more changes. Um, but with like the hands that we were in, our associate choreographer and our director, like, and our associate director, everybody was so like locked in and like made us feel like this is crazy and we don't know what the answer is yet, but we're gonna figure it out. The challenging part, I think, for me was because a lot of the people, it was like challenging and it was also an asset because a lot of the people had just done it in South Korea. Like a lot of them knew the show really well. Like obviously they just did it for 6 months. And so then like the new ones of us were like, wow,
Yeah.
like wow. So that was like kind of hard. But as a swing, when you're learning a number when the people who are learning the number don't know what they're doing, it's hard for me to like learn your track if you don't know what your track is. But them knowing what their track is super well, knowing their numbers, knowing where they need to be, like that was made it so much easier for me to learn what they were doing. So like there was like pros and cons. Like there were days where I would like it was so funny. Like there was a day where I think we had learned Shady like the day before, and they had told us they were like everybody cries learning this dance. Like it's a lot, like not everybody, but like we've at every iteration we've done of this, like one person has cried. Not because of anything bad, but just because like it's a lot. Like you're in the coat, you're in the hat, like it's intricate movement, it's all like this, like anyway. We had done the whole day and like everyone's great, everyone's in great spirits. And I'm in the back and I'm like, I just need to make it to lunch. I'll go to the bathroom. I'll let it out. I'll feel better. And so and like not for any reason other than probably overwhelm. Like literally everything's perfect. I had like the best time. But then I like go to the bathroom really quickly at lunch. I'm like cried out for 2 seconds. Then I'm like, okay, feel better. I feel better. And that's me. Like I'm that type of girl where like I just need to let it out. Like I cannot
Yeah.
hold it in. Like if I need to cry, just
I feel that.
I gotta cry and then I'll be fine. Like I'm literally ready
Feel
to go.
that so hard.
My boyfriend Dan will always be like, hey, don't cry. And I'm like, no, I need this. I
That's so Dan
need
core.
this. I need this. You have to let me do this. Like, you have to let me do this. And so
Oh,
don't cry. So anyway, so I went to the bathroom, cried it out, and then it was great. I'm like, nobody knows, all good. And then the next day, Dom was like, did you cry yesterday? And I was like, yes, how'd you know? And he was like, just knew. And I was like, well,
oh,
and he like gave me a big hug. He's like, it's okay. Like, we're gonna get through. Like, we're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Like, no one is worried about you. Like, you're gonna get it. But like, it's okay if it's hard right now. And I was like, okay, true. And I think that this is another thing I'm learning, um, is that I don't think I'm a perfectionist. I think that I expect this is like the definition of a perfectionist. I don't expect perfection out of myself, but I expect like a high quality of work. Like I'm like
I feel that. I feel
like
that.
I'm a high achiever, maybe is what I would say. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I know what I'm capable of. So when I do anything that feels like less than what I'm capable of, that like is very frustrating to me. So like I'm amazing at picking up choreography. It's a great skill that I have. I'm really good at it. So I'm like in a room and I'm like, I don't know which arm. Like that is like there's nothing more frustrating than that to me. Like especially because I have been dancing since I was two. Like I'm like I know my left from my right. So why can't I figure it out? Like
Yeah.
so I think that is like I get the most frustrated with myself because I'm like, I know that I can do this. So the fact that I'm sitting here like farting in the corner and being unable to figure it out is like pisses me off, frankly. So anyway,
Every dancer's been there. We've all been there.
like, oh,
Yeah.
and so I think something with swinging that has taught me is like you have to let go of the idea that when you go on that stage, it is going to be 100% your perfect, most excellent work. I think that I'm going to get to a point for sure when it's my most excellent work that I've ever put on stage. Right now in this process, like I just did two tracks this last week. One of them I was lucky enough to have a put in for, which that doesn't always happen, but I did have a put in for one of the tracks. So I went on for that track and I was kind of like, okay, like
Oh,
just like I practiced, like
thank you, put in.
thank you put in like and of course there was still changes from the put in because we didn't have everyone in the put in, we were still down people, so like there was changes and it was like an adjustment period, but for the most part I was kind of like okay, like I got this, I did it in the put in, I got it. And then I went on for a different track that I like hadn't done a put in for, hadn't done in rehearsal before, like we when we were doing rehearsal I was doing the other track, so I was like, well, this is going to come down to my brain and my homework, and like here we go. And so that I had to really like I did a great job. Like I'll pat myself on the back. Like I did a great job, but like there were things that I am like, just give me another shot. Like just give me another shot. And so I think I'm having to release the idea that I'm gonna go on stage and do a perfect show. Because number one, a perfect show doesn't exist. Even when you're on stage every single night, like it'll be different every single night. But I think
Yeah.
that it's like it's hard also when you're a swing, like that was my one chance. Like you don't get to do it every night like everybody else does. Like you get like your one little like flash, hey, you're on, then you're back. Like then you're back not on. So when I do it again, and I know I'll do them again because it's tour and people call
It's
out, whatever. And when I do it again, like I'm excited to do it again. But I think it's like you just have to release the idea that everything is going to be perfect when I haven't done this in rehearsal. Like, how could it be perfect? Like I literally I kept saying, I was like, it feels like a video game because like I'm a big like visualization girl. So like I have to
yeah.
listen to the music and close my eyes and go over my tracking like in my brain as if I was doing it in real life. Cause I'm like, we could get in a whole nother tangent about that. Like visualization is so good for you, so good for your brain.
So good.
Um, but I literally felt like I was in a video game because I was like, okay, I walk through the doors, the champagne bottles, and then like I'm on stage, I'm like, there they are, just like I thought, like it like literally felt like an out of body experience. So I'm looking forward to the day where I feel so comfortable with these tracks that I'm not so like I'm like I'm like locked in a way I've never been locked in before. Like you get like
Look at you go, superstar.
literally most of the time I'm like my roles I'm like they become second nature and I can really like
Yeah.
find different ways to play and whatever. And like, it's like, not when you're swinging. I'm like, 8.5, scene two, move forward, move one half step forward. Oh, watch out, here they come. Like, it's like, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm in here. And I don't really like to perform in here. Like, I like to perform like, like this. But you can't do that unless you know exactly what's going on. And I'll get to that point, I'm sure. But yeah, it is a crazy switch up
Yeah.
from what I'm used to.
And it's so crazy too when you do tracks without rehearsals and you do like two different tracks in the same day. Like, not to use Dan as an example here, but I look
Yeah.
at him doing two different tracks in the same day and I'm like, where's your head at, bro?
He's so good about that too. He's just like, yeah, I did that earlier, now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, he's like,
But like you were saying too, it's all a visualization game. And like I am so grateful that I can visualize. Funny you bring that up because I was actually talking that at rehearsal the other day. I was like, I can close my eyes and see a number.
yeah,
And some people they can't do that. And I'm like, I don't know how I could do a show without visualization. It's
yeah.
key. It's oh
It's especially when you're swing, you like all of the days of tech, everyone had the chance to be on the stage and lock in their track. Be like, here's my track that I do every single night. And this number, I know I'm right here. I know this number. I know this stage like the back of my hand. Meanwhile, the swings are up in the mezzanine going, what are that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Like we're not on the stage. We're not like
yeah,
learning the stage like that. And
yeah.
so when we get to rehearsal, then that's also awesome. I'm sorry, I don't know why this is like
No,
zooming out. Like it's
it's so cool.
um and so like then we get to rehearsal and we're on the stage and we're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
okay, totally. But like there's no lighting. Okay, so no worries, it's fine. And then whatever, and then you get to the and you're like, here's my spike, whatever. And then you get to, the put in, and I'm like, I can't see the spikes because we're in the dark. Like it's like just things that you
Yeah.
don't even think that you don't know until you find out that you don't know
Yeah.
them.
You know them. Yeah.
Um, it's definitely pushing me. It's making me grow. Like I have no other choice but to like become better and become a performer who is able to do this stuff. Like it's awesome. Like I really do feel myself growing a lot, which is really cool. Um, but yeah, it is crazy. I mean, like you have to visualize because like we aren't rehearsing on the stage
Yeah.
the way the cast is until now we're in rehearsal and it's us, which is awesome and like that's what you look for. Um, but yeah, it is crazy.
Oh, wow. So you recently made your debut last Thursday. Can you walk us through what your debut day looked like from the moment you woke up to stepping on stage? What was going through your mind?
Yes, I can. So I like woke up and I was chilling in my bed, and then I got a text from our stage manager. She's like, "Hey, you're gonna be on for Joanne tonight." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So immediately my first thoughts are like, "Okay, Joanne." I had like because I had been teaching at OU, I had kind of like scratchy voice for like a couple days and it wasn't bad. Like I didn't lose my voice, but I just like had a little scratchy. And so I was kind of like, okay, like there's like the things I like when they let you know that early in the morning because like it is going to change how I go about my day if I know I'm on versus I'm going to eat different. I'm going to like drink different things. I'm going to like so it affects like your whole day. So I appreciated that I learned so early. Then we had rehearsal and so I'm like, okay, I'm like getting ready. I'm like, my parents are like, can we fly out? Can we fly out? They can't find a flight. I'm like, oh, it's okay, guys. Like
Oh,
it's obviously probably best that you let me do this one time before you come and see it. Like, like let me get the first time out of the way. And so I'm like thinking, I'm like kind of just using, just like being like, and this was the role I had already done a put in for. So I'm like, I know it. I know I can do it. We've done the full show already. Um, then sorry, stomach's making crazy noises. Then we went to the theater to do rehearsal, and I was supposed to do, excuse me, rehearsal for a different track, which would be the track that I would end up doing a couple days later. I was supposed to be doing rehearsal for that track, and then they were like, "Since you're going on for Joanne tonight, would you like to do that track instead for in rehearsal today?" And I was like, "Yes, I would. Thank you so much." Like they were very generous in letting me kind of like bounce around. Um, and like for a lot of the scenes and stuff, it is a lot of like furniture moves. Like it comes down to that. So it's like maybe you're in rehearsal for this part, but like we need this couch on. So can you jump into it? Like it's a lot of like jumping around. So anyway, it was nice that they let me do that. So I did that all day. I'm like, was rehearsing all day, and we were going through the second set of understudies, like because we had already had our put in with like one set of understudies, then we were moving on to the other set of understudies for each part. So everyone was kind of shifted around, but then I was doing something different, and then somebody else was going to go on for somebody else that night, and they were like, "Can I do that part today?" So like anyway, it was all like a big scramble.
yeah.
So we did rehearsal, and then I was like, okay, I need food, I need a tea, and I need like to like go home and like think. So I like went back to my little hotel room, and I was like, doing myself, getting ready, and I was like, I love to get to the theater really early, like when I'm in a show, I love to get there early. Now that I'm kind of doing the partial swing thing, if I know I'm not on, like I don't mind getting there like not as early. Like typically I'm like an hour. I like to get there like 2 hours before showtime. Like that's crazy. But recently I've been kind of rocking with like the 1 hour before showtime. Like that's fine with me. Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, so I was like, no, not tonight. I need to get there 2 hours before showtime. So I went there super early. I had to do I guess I didn't have to do live call that night. I had to like, just get ready and get my head in the game and like drink my tea. And what else did I do? I drank my tea. I was like just warming up my voice. You have to warm up your voice.
Yep.
And like getting ready. And it kind of was like that thing of like I work really well under pressure, which I think is also like a good trait for a swing. Like pressure is like good for me. It helps me, I feel like, be more
Yeah.
focused. I think that if I don't like if I was just like maybe I wouldn't be as focused and zoned in. Like I like that kind of like heat wall of like, okay, like this is the very first time you've done this. Like I like that. So anyway, I was like kind of like leaning into the pressure. I'm like, okay, like let me get my head on straight. Like I like to have fun backstage. Like so that's a way. It's interesting, like for dancing and for singing in an audition room for dance, I need like my headphones on. I need to not speak to anyone. And I like need to get in the zone. So my parents always called it when I would like compete, they'd be like, she's gotta get in the zone. But for singing, I have to be like, I have to like be TTing with my friends and I have to be doing stuff because if I do like get too much in my head, then I get nervous. So
Mhm.
like for dance, it does, I don't get nervous. I need to like focus in if anything so that I'm not like being spazzy. But for singing, like if I focus in too much, then I'm like, oh. So it's like it's funny. So I was, I was trying to like keep myself kind of like moving and whatever. And then we had a couple of like costume things that didn't work during the put in that they had to check out before. So we did that. And then yeah, we started the show and like there's just like once those sliding doors open for the ensemble and the opening number, then you like literally don't stop moving after that, which I think is also good. Like
Yeah.
we just were moving, 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 moving. I felt really good about everything that I did. Like I had a couple of mess ups. Like I dumped over a glass of water backstage on accident. Like there's like a part where the track, it's like H1, it's the heel one track, brings on a cup of water to like she gives, Nick the note and she gives Jordan a cup of water. Every time we'd rehearse that, there had been no water in it. So like I don't know, like I just like got used to it. So
Whatever.
I grabbed the thing off the thing and it was like water everywhere. And I was like, oh. And everyone's like, oh my God, wipe it up. And I'm like, sorry, sorry, sorry. Like, it was so that was like, I was like, oops, okay, I won't do that next time. And then I think there was like one other thing that I like messed up, but I can't remember. But again, like I was able to feel really confident with what I did. And I was like able to release the fact that, like, yeah, maybe I did dump a cup of water backstage, but whatever. The show went on,
And
like
that's the story you told that night.
right. Like when understudies or swings are on, I'm like, if the story gets told and the theater doesn't burn down and we make it to bows, that was a successful show.
That's a
Like
win. That's a win.
especially for like leads and stuff, like when people like get
Yeah.
super like I'm like, that is daunting. Like an ensemble is hard in a very different way. But yeah, like when people go on for leads, I'm like, look, like story got told, we're bowing, theater didn't burn down. Here we are. Like obviously, you want to give your absolute best 100% work. Um,
Yeah.
but that's just what, you say to someone if they have a little mess up. And that's what I said to myself. And
Queen.
yeah, it was crazy though.
What
And
a day.
then I was off for one night and then I was on for a different part the next night. And I was like,
That's
but it's
crazy.
fun. I kind of like it. Like now I'm like, we're getting in the swing of it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay, I'm
Getting
ready.
in the swing of it. No pun intended.
I'm
Oh.
like that'll be my podcast name.
Oh
Getting
my
in the
God. Yes.
swing.
Yes. Oh, what has been your highlight moment in The Great Gatsby so far?
Honestly, probably going on for Joanne the other night. There's a moment where like, when Gilda is singing and they like freeze and time stops, and it's like Daisy and what's his face? Gatsby sing to each other like in the middle of the floor, and everyone else is frozen. And I was like having my frozen moment, and I was looking out into the audience, like this huge audience, and it was kind of that same moment that I had when I was on for Dorothy, like a year ago. I guess that's almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
Ooh, that's weird. Um, it was kind of that same moment of like, oh my God, like I'm standing up here by myself, like on a stage, like doing a national tour, like singing alone, like that is crazy. Like I kind of like had like a drink it in moment, and I was like, just I was very, it was a very, I was very proud of myself. Like it was a very like, like I'm doing this, like, and I think that that moment like doesn't happen that often for me. Again, I feel like it's like the high achiever of kind of like, no, everything I'm doing needs to be better. Like you've never hit your whatever ceiling. And so I think when I can take a step back and like just feel pride in myself, like that is like it's always a good practice. And I feel like it's something I need to try to do more. But especially in that moment with like my, sparkly whatever and my big headpiece on and like looking out into the audience of I don't even know how many people. I think a lot. I think like 3,000. I'm really bad with numbers like that, like groups of numbers. But yeah, I think it was like a couple thousand maybe. And yeah, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I really like this job. So that was like probably my highlight moment. Also, like I fucking love, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can swear on here.
No, you can
I
swear, you're good.
Oh, okay, great. I fucking love my cast. Like I love this cast so much. We have so much fun together. Everyone is so awesome. I love this cast. Like there's like nothing. I get to work and I like go into every dressing room and be like, hi, because like they
Yay.
just like make me so happy. Like I just love being around them. And that's a huge highlight too. I feel like I feel very lucky that I'm with a group of people that I am so inspired by, I look up to so much, are so kind, are the example of like what hard work and dedication look like. Like truly, I cannot say enough. They're not only ridiculously talented, but they are as good of people off stage as they are on. Like I like can't say enough about how incredible the cast is. I love them so much. So that's another highlight is like traveling the country with like a sickening group of people.
That's the coolest. And especially too, like when you're on tour, like those are your people. Like you see
You
no
don't
one
know
else
anybody
on
else.
tour.
I don't know anybody in Houston. I only know these people.
Yeah.
So literally.
Oh. And I can't wait to see y'all shine. It's gonna be so
I'm so
good.
excited to go to Toronto.
And you're back where it all started, Lion King, 2-year-old Rosie. Wow,
No.
that's crazy. So, I mean, speaking of 2-year-old Rosie, looking back on everything you have achieved in this industry, what advice would you give your younger self entering the industry?
Oh my God, what a great question. Um, okay. I would say there is so much power in knowing yourself well, and like making sure that you like respect yourself. I feel like so much of like the work that I've done in the last couple of years to really like lock in with who I am. And I think it's growing up and I think it's like my frontal lobe and like, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I think that like truly the pursuit of getting to know myself as best as I possibly can has changed who I am as a person, has changed how I interact with the world, and has thus changed me as a performer. So I think I would say to her, do not dim your light for anyone. Like they're the exact person that you are is the exact person that people will love. Like no one wants you to change. I don't know like where I ever got that notion. Nobody ever wanted that. Like the the in order to be loved by anyone else, you have to love yourself. Like you've got to love what you're putting out there. So I think I would just tell her like not in a like love yourself way, but in like a truly like get to know yourself. Like, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you think about this? What do you think about what they think about this? Like, I really am constantly in my head. I feel like thinking, like I'm like always, I'm always thinking, like, what do I think about that? Like, what would my opinion be if I wasn't myself? Like, would I still feel that way if I had had this experience? Like, I feel like I'm constantly trying to understand myself better and like in the same way understand my opinions about my surroundings and my opinions of other people's opinions and my opinions of like I really am constantly in the pursuit of like just knowing what I think about everything, because I think it's okay to be unsure, but mostly I try to like really learn what I'm thinking, and I think that has allowed me to know who I am. And that is a great gift. I think it's really hard to know exactly who you are in like an like in a what's the word, career like this, because people are constantly telling you who you are and what you're not and what you're good at and what you're not good at. Like, and it's one thing to like hear those things and be like, oh, okay, maybe that's true. Or it's another thing to hear those things and be like, oh my God, they did not get a good read of me because that's not true. Like, I'm great at that. Or like, oh, they must not have seen this in me, but I know it exists. Like being so strong in my like knowledge of myself and my knowledge of everything about me, including my abilities and including my everything, has been like a great gift to me in the last year that I've like really worked hard for. So anyway, yeah, that is so long-winded, but I would say don't dim your light for anyone and get to know yourself as best you can, because there's no one else that you'll truly be with forever except for you. So, and I have two little sisters as well, so I feel like I'm kind of trying to like I'm trying to like give them, oh my God, I'm like, I remember I was just talking to my second to youngest sister, and she's 17. And I was like, I remember being 17 and like just being like, I don't feel like I know anything. And then you're like 19 and you're like, I actually know everything in the whole world. And then you turn 22 and you're like, oh my God, no, now I really don't know anything. Like you kind of go through these like crazy phases. So anyway, yeah, I feel like really a lot of introspective self-work is what I would tell my 2-year old self to
Yeah.
aim for as she
Yeah.
progresses throughout her life. Like
Well, I
just
mean,
keep getting to know yourself.
17-year-old me is holding on to that.
Good, good. No, seriously, I'm like, I really think that you should
Yeah.
like that's all that matters. People are going to tell you who you are and all this stuff, and you can either really listen to them or you can listen to yourself and be like, well, okay, good for you, buddy, but like I know that that's not true. Like it's just a lot of like getting to know yourself. That is like the pursuit of life, I think, and it makes you
Totally.
a better performer when you know.
Yeah. Because I always say you can't step in and play pretend and pretend to be someone else if you don't really know yourself.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because like where's it coming from? If yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Rosie, thank you so much for joining me on the Inspiration Show.
thank
I'm
you
in
for having
constant awe
me.
of your incredible talent, and I'm just so, so grateful for the opportunity to get to look up to you and watch you shine. I have so, so much love and admiration for you, and it was such an honor to have you here. Thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun talking to you.
You're the greatest.